Escaping the impoverished mindset. You may ask me what that means. But I invite everyone here to embark on a journey with me using my life to kind of explain what I mean when I say you can escape the impoverished mindset. Just a little on myself. So I'm a native of Chattanooga. I grew up in the Highland Park area. I'm the youngest of four kids raised by mom. I graduated and attended Howard High School, 2014, class of 2014. And after I graduated, I stayed in Chattanooga and went to work for a small nonprofit called Launch Chattanooga. And there I was able to, share my passion for entrepreneurship with local kids from the communities that I grew up in the inner city schools. But growing up in life, I was getting to that age. So let me start the story. So growing up in life, I was getting to the age, that 6 to 7-year-old age, and this is the age where all parents push their young boys off into sports. And they push you off into sports to see which sport that you're going to like. So my mom put me in football. And let's talk a little bit about football. Football wasn't for me. I can remember a time, so I would go to practice, and I think I would be the only one on the team with the cleanest uniform because I didn't want to get in. I didn't want to practice. I just had to make mom proud, so I needed my shoulder pads and my helmet. But this particular game, my coach says, Roshell. And my eyes get big because I'm like, is he calling me to get in? I mean, he didn't say timeout, so, we're not calling me to huddle up. And I'm down there playing in the dirt, and my coach calls me, say, I need you to get in. Okay, coach, I'll get in. So my coach puts my helmet on. He straps up my chin strap. And then he says, okay, I need you to do three things. I need you to hold the ball, get in the goal, and don't get hit. And then he hits me on the leg, and he said, all right, go in. So I'm like, okay, coach, don't get hit. Don't get hit. I won't get hit. That's fine with me. I didn't want to get hit anyway. So I remember the quarterback snapping the ball, and the ball comes to me, and I look up, and I see all these people running at me, and I'm like, uh-oh, don't get hit. So I automatically turn around, and I run the ball into the opposing team's safety zone. And for me, I'm celebrating. I didn't lose the ball. I got in the goal, and coach, I didn't get hit. And I turn around, I see everybody mad. And I'm like, uh-oh, why is everyone mad? So, yeah, it was at that moment. We knew football wasn't going to be for me, so I didn't play football. So I can remember going to middle school. Now, in middle school, this is the stage in life where we all start to, get a little older, and we got to show everybody, what we got. So I hung out with the basketball players, and I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, basketball may be my thing. I'm going to try basketball. So I went and talked to coach, and coach let me in. I began to practice, and then the game came. Coach put me in the game. I was excited, got in the game, but I couldn't seem to grasp the concept that you dribble with one hand and not two. So every time I got the ball, it was like, beep, travel. Okay, it's cool. I'll try it again. Beep, travel. Okay, it's cool. You know what, Mom, I don't want to play basketball either. But it was at this moment in life I began to question myself. At the young age of 13, I was really doubting the fact that I had any potential on escaping what the world called poverty. Because to my society, the only three ways out of poverty is football, basketball, or, become a rapper. And I knew that those three weren't for me. As we just discussed, football, definitely not. Basketball, definitely not. And rapping, I just don't have the rhymes for it. But I can remember in high school, growing up, I was getting to the stage where I had this teacher in high school. And as I stated, I went to an inner city school, part of the public education system. So I was in class with guys from everywhere. And these guys would come back from suspension or come back from anticipating the fact that they needed to fight a guy in the hallway, and I had a teacher. This teacher would always tell us statistics. She'd always say that 1 of 3 black males will go to jail in their entire lifetime. She'd only say that because she wanted us to not be one of those 3. She'd also say that 45 million Americans live in poverty or are still stuck in poverty. She'd tell us things like that, and in my mind, as for my fellow peers in class, it went over their head, but in my mind, I could never seem to grasp the concept of what she meant. I can remember one day being on the bus on the way home, and this particular day, I sat in the front next to the bus driver, and I laid my head on the window, and I thought, was she talking to me? Was I going to be one of those 3? Well, do I live in poverty? I can remember walking down the block on the way home from the bus stop and just thinking, am I one of the 3? All these guys on this corner, but am I one of the 3? I can remember walking in my mom's front door and saying, is this poverty? Is this what we live in? I could never grasp the concept that I could be categorized by someone else's past. I never thought, how could you try to determine my future before I could understand what it even meant, what a statistic was? I just was at that point in my life where I wanted everyone to accept what I had to offer. I didn't want to be categorized by my father's actions, but not by the neighborhood that I lived in, not by the race that I'm a part of. I just wanted everyone to see what I had to offer. So as I got older, I began to want to really understand what poverty was. And I was one day looking over the internet, at digging into my research, and I discovered that poverty means poor. Okay, we know that. That's cool. What's your definition of poor? I was good. I ate every night. I had everything I wanted. I don't live in poverty. Then I dug a little deeper and I looked at the word impoverished. And the word impoverished means to make a person or area poor. Now, that may went over your head, but I caught it. To make a person or area poor. It was at that moment in life that I decided that no one was going to make me anything. It was at that moment in life that I decided that I was going to stand up a little taller. I remember asking my mom, "Mom, you bought me some tennis shoes today, but I want a suit." And she's like, "You want a suit?" I'm like, "I want a suit. Let's go suit shopping." So my mom takes me suit shopping. And I remember the first suit that I ever got, it was this gray suit. Now, this gray suit, now this was back, I was a little young. But this suit had the padding in the shoulders, the real thick padding. But I liked my padding in my shoulders. It was my first suit. So I remember I would then get into ties, and I remember my mom taking us to church, and I saw this man at church, and he had this nice tie on. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not afraid of a no. My mama tell me no every day. So I walk up to the guy, and I tap him on the shoulder. I say, "Hey, could I have that tie?" And he's like, you want me to take it off? And I'm like, I mean, you can take it off after church and give it to me, but I really want to wear that tie with my new gray suit. So this man comes over after church one day, and he says, "Okay, so here's a bag of ties." And he said, "Do you know how to tie it?" "I don't." "Can you teach me?" So I remember him staying at our house for 2 hours and teaching me how to tie and tie. And from that point on, I decided that I had to find my purpose in life. I can remember thinking, as I previously stated, in my community, the only three ways out was sports and the rap gang, and I knew for a fact that I couldn't do any of that. So I remember one day asking God, I said, "God, what's my purpose? You brought me into this world. My pastor tells me that you know me, but what's my purpose?" As I got older, my mom always said I talked too much, which was fine with me because I just was curious. I was always one of the kids that said, "But Mom, why?" And she'd give the answer, and I say, "But Mom, why?" And she'd give the answer again. I said, "But Mom, you still didn't explain why." And she'd say, "Look, boy, I don't know. Go find out." So that's why I became so curious. But I began to think God gives us all a gift, and we have to learn a talent. Think about it. Think about it with me. You're born with a gift, but we try so hard to learn a talent. Why not focus on that gift? So I began to figure out ways to invest in my gift, and my gift was speaking. My gift was talking. So I began to invest into my gift because my gift was my way out. I learned that God sometimes gives some people talents, but he gives us all gifts. And some people look over their gifts because they're so focused on their talent, when your talent can always fail you, but your gift can never fail you. So over my journey, I began to just write down small things that help me to succeed. So today I want to speak to the person who may be watching this, the person who may be sitting here, who was like me, who didn't know if they were in poverty or not, and who didn't know that the word poverty, impoverished, means to make a person or area poor, who feels that no one is going to make them and they need a way out. Let me tell you 4 things that help me get through life. So I had to first teach myself that poverty was a mindset. I had to remind myself every day that I was satisfied where I lived. As long as I ate, I slept, I got a new set of 24 hours every day, and I was going to get up and make the best of those 24 hours every day. I had to tell myself that as a young guy. As I got a little older, I learned that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So that's why I was so proud of that gray suit. And my friends never understood why I would come outside with a tie on. There's no special occasion going on. The occasion is special every time I step outside my mom's house. I have to show everyone what I could bring to the table. And I always tell my friends, for my third point, is that you should never become comfortable in what you live in. Life is not supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to always find new ways to adapt to new environments. Those lessons that you learn in those new environments are going to be the lessons that you use, the lessons that help you get to where you need to be. And as I previously said, you have to service your gift as much as you service your talent. I'm thinking, listening to one of the other speakers speak earlier, and he was talking about how Kobe was always in practice, practicing so hard. He was cultivating his talent, but as for me, I was always cultivating my gift. I always wanted to learn how to speak proper. I always wanted to be in front of the crowd. I always wanted to hang around people who would give me knowledge and who would teach me what I needed to be successful using my gift. So if I haven't told you anything today, I want to tell you that you should never settle. I want to tell you that even though statistics, even though this world may try to confine you, they may try to tell you things that you're unable to dissect. I want to tell you that you should never settle. Get exactly what you want out of life. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not there. I'm speaking to that person who only feels that they can do what their mama and daddy did, and there's more to life than what mama and daddy did. You have to know how, you have to tell yourself that this is not where you want to be, and you have to tell yourself that you're going to make yourself get there by any means necessary. I also want to tell them that you should never doubt. Don't doubt yourself. If you want to be a lawyer and you want to be a doctor and they say you have to be in school for 12 years, don't fret. It's okay because you're going to where you need to be. I also want to tell that person to chase exactly what it is that you want. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Derelle Roshell, and I just share my vision on how I feel that you can escape the impoverished mindset. Thanks.